Defense stocks in Europe have soared after the recent geopolitical tensions. But after this rally, are they still good value, or are you overpaying too much for safety? Let us take a closer look at the numbers. I put together a group of companies here. You'll see there's another video that you can refer to, how to compare companies in the screener. I put a watch list together of all the defense companies I could find in Europe. Let's look at the numbers. First of all, I've sorted from low to high in terms of price to earnings. Elskem is a company we discovered for the newsletter, and by accident, they increased about 160% in a year because they also made some chemicals that can be used in defense. So I included the company over here. It's very small compared to the other ones. If you click on the name, you get the details. It's $1.1 billion in market value. It's relatively small compared to the other ones. This one's the cheapest one on price to earnings. There's Leonardo in Italy. And most expensive, you'll see later on, it increased the most as well over the last year, 165%, I think, is Rheinmetall. If you look at EBITDA yield, that is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization over enterprise value, Elskem is still the cheapest, with Leonardo second and Airbus third. If you look at earnings yield, that is EBIT to enterprise value, the highest yield is still there, and BAE Systems comes up as the second best performing company. If you look at free cash flow yield, that is free cash flow, cash from operations minus capital expenditure, divided by enterprise value. The company with the highest value is Dassault Aviation in France, Elskem second, and BAE Systems third. If you look at magic formula, if you remember, a magic formula is two formulas: EBIT to enterprise values and return on invested capital, and companies are sorted according to those. Companies with the lowest value is the cheapest, still Elskem's first, BAE System, and then tails. And QI value, you can look in the glossary. It's about 5 ratios that comprise QI value. Elskem is still the cheapest. Let's just sort it from low to high. Elskem, BAE Systems. Value Composite 2 by James O'Shaughnessy, that increased price to book, which is probably not bad to include for defense companies as they have a lot of tangible assets. The lowest rated company is still Elskem, with Leonardo second. Let's have a quick look at how these stocks performed over the last 6 months. From high to low, Rheinmetall is the best performer over the last 6 months, up 83%. Over 12 months, it's up 165%. Price index is just the price now divided by the price 6 months ago. So if you minus 1, you basically get the percentage number. And sales growth, let's just look at that quickly. Highest sales growth came from Saab. These are all historical numbers. So Saab had the best growth, Rheinmetall second, third is Elskem. Anyway, that gives you a good idea, and obviously you can include as many ratios and indicators as you want to. Here I just created a template with many ratios just to give you a good comparison of these companies. Let's just have a quick look at cash return on invested capital. Highest one is Dassault, Elskem second, quite a high return, 24%. Lowest performer is Leonardo. Anyway, that gives you a good idea of defense companies, which remains a strong theme at the moment, but valuations are not as attractive as they were. We'll have to see how orders come in and how earnings grow, but already these companies had quite a good run. If you found this analysis useful, follow us for more clear, data-driven investment insights.